Hey guys, it's here bringing you another video. Now, welcome to another Spectating Challenger Korea Edition. So, I don't know how long we're going to do Korea Edition for. If you guys keep liking the videos and enjoying kind of watching people we normally don't, then throw a like on the video and we'll keep doing it. But we did obviously, I think it was Showmaker a few days ago on Lucian Mid. You can see he's actually on the enemy team over there on his other top, like, 3 Korean solo queue account. Today we're actually focusing on the Sylas, and we'll click play. And this was a very requested person. And I excuse everybody, I don't watch Korean pro play. I don't really watch pro play anymore. But this guy, and if I get the pronunciation wrong, much apologies. But it's DRX Chovoy, something like that. CHOVY. That's him. He's currently rank 9, which makes him have over 1,200 LP in Challenger in Korea with a 55% win rate on this account. So we're watching him and we're watching Sylas because to me, this guy's main champion, it looks to be, or his most played champion is Sylas. His stats on overall are insane. To be a Challenger player, these stats are ridiculous. So we're talking a 60%, that's obnoxious. We're going to go over here for now. A 60% overall win rate with Sylas in about 100 games with a KD of 2.77 average, with also about 200 farm average as well. Most of those games would have probably been also played in Challenger, you have to remember, so this is insane. Absolutely. So, by the way, I can't tell what main he is, so I'll actually do a little Google just so we actually know, because his play, his solo queue account and his match history, insanely impressive champion variety, and it looks like he's a mid laner. He is a mid laner. His favorite champs are Cassiopeia and Zoe, and he plays for DRX. But yeah, his match history is so vast. He has a Hecarim game, a Lulu game, a Volibear game, a Nidalee jungle game, a Senna meta game, a Relia. Like, he doesn't just stick to like little things. He seems to be like, I play everything. So these are 2 champions that are known to be quite strong, and you can see Akali is not wanting to just let Sylas do whatever he wants. She is taking the fight, and we've got arguably the rank 1 player Showmaker versus Shovi here, and that's how I'm going to pronounce it. It could be wrong. Apologies. Full disclosure. Double kill coming though for the blue team. They actually get first blood down there, and we're going to see how this goes. So yeah, 2 champions, arguably both insanely strong. Akali, Sylas, 2 of the best players practically in the world, going up against each other. Let's see what happens. Personally, I will say, fair warning, I do now ban Akali. I'm basically fed up of Akali in my games. She is a ridiculously strong pick, but it's not that she's just kind of strong. You can deal with strong picks. I just think she's really obnoxious, very obnoxious to play against. She can easily poke you down and then hide in her cloud pretty easily. So I've just kind of, for now anyway, I'm not playing against Akali. So I've been banning it over Kassadin, which is crazy. Anyway, invade actually happening up here. Sylas hasn't moved. Akali's on the way, but Akali going all in with double summoners. Sylas flashing as well. Akali going to go down. Hecarim goes down to the Kindred, but now Kindred is definitely in trouble to the Sylas. You can see the Sylas actually not going fully all in because, he was expecting the jump to happen. Kennen hopefully will react and maybe cut off the Kindred. If not, the Kindred's probably going to jump over here, I would predict. Oh, no, she's been found by the Sylas. He latches the E, and there is the kill, giving the Sylas that kill, making it a slight advantage to the red team in that trade. 2 for 1, and all of the double buffs merge basically onto the one Sylas, because they killed the double buff, and then the Kindred got them as a refresh, and now you can see what's going to happen is the kind of pressure that double buff gives. You can sort of see Akali was walking into lane, Sylas straight away like, hey, do you want to fight? And she decides, no, I don't want to fight. And also you can see Kindred Mark going straight on Sylas, not surprisingly, because guess what? She wants those double buffs back. But yeah, that was a crazy already start. Very, like, what I would say, this is my 2nd episode watching Korea. Yeah, what I would, throughout the years, obviously, of watching and just hearing solo queue in general, teleport coming down, the replays are still bugged. He is teleporting here. He gets in, and he does get a kill on the Kindred. Kindred goes down again, but that is a dead set support. But I've always heard through the grapevine, Korea's so aggressive. And it's like, is it real? Like, is it that aggressive? Or people just say it's aggressive? No, it's aggressive. Like, yes, I can definitely see that now. I'm sure put a Challenger EUS person or Challenger NA person, I'm sure they'll be okay in Korean Challenger, but they'd have to get used to the tempo of the game. It seems that this is faster tempo. People are actively doing things more often. They're not resting. You know, here's another fight, by the way. Level 3 Kindred, arguably a weird fight to take. But yeah, again, she's coming back and she's going again. Akali was taking that fight too. And remember, this is the highest rating players. Akali goes down on Korea. This is what they do. And the funny thing is, some people, if I didn't tell you guys what rating this was, yeah, you can tell the mechanics are pretty clean. People are hitting their abilities often. But because how aggressive it is, it can actually look like a kind of fiesta of a game. Sometimes you do find that you're like, this is Challenger? What? Like, why did Kindred go in at level 3 then? Because it's the aggression nature of Korea. That's why. So Sylas right now, we'll also mention, farm in the game is relatively low across the board for what everybody would deem a Challenger game. People have always said, like, how much farm should I have at 10 minutes? It's a pointless thing because every game is different. Every game. Some games like this where it's high aggression levels, roaming, teleporting bot lane already for the mid laner, well, he's not going to get a lot of farm doing that, right? But there are some games that literally sod all happens in the early game, therefore you'll get crazy high farm. So yeah, obviously when people say like, oh, what should I aim for with farm numbers and stuff, aim for the best farm you can get in the game that you're currently in. There isn't just a magic number that you should be aiming for. You know, and obviously you can obviously go, oh, in an average half an hour game of League, maybe I'd want to try get 200 farm or something. Sure, have it in your mind, but don't like just think I have to keep farming here, because sometimes, you know, doing other things is the better call. If Sylas was so obsessed with farm, he may have not gone bot lane where he did. We got another kill, denying the Kindred more. So it's kind of all of that. You've got to pay attention to all of that. So the game is still quite close. Hecarim goes down bot lane. Again, was what looked on the minimap was running into 3 people. High aggression level, as we mentioned. Akali now level 6, by the way. So now will these champions start to fight a lot more? Arguably, yes. Another kill for the Ezreal. Sylas going to go in with his good lifesteal. Again, very scary champion. Is Sylas with his lifesteal? And I will say, there has been in the background, I've had a weird idea. Now, here at HuzzyGames, I don't experiment with builds often. I think people know that. I don't kind of theory craft my own builds. But I have had a thought recently with Sylas. So he's got he's running all in for the Akali. Both are ulting. Akali's going to go in and gets the kill, but she should die to the tower. They trade. Hecarim going to go in. Oh, look at that aggression level. He's so close to dying. Goes in, kills the Ezreal, probably because Ezreal just didn't expect Hecarim to go in. So let's just watch the map while Sylas is dead. But yeah, I can't remember the point I was making because all that craziness just happened. Oh, that was it. The theory crafted build that I have an idea of. Well, yeah, Sylas is running Conqueror or Fleet Footwork. Both are healing. This game he's running Fleet Footwork. His W obviously heals as well. After you get a couple of AP items on Sylas, a lot of the time you buy survivability on him. You know, he's a melee type champion, has to go in, has to risk them. What about Death's Dance on him? I know that might be weird, and it's like, it gives AD. Yeah, it does, but it also gives not bad other things too. I have thought about this. I don't know if people have tried it. Maybe people have. I've not seen anybody do it. But like, after you get your maybe 3 AP items and you have your boots, maybe the 4th completed item, Death's Dance. Look at that trading, by the way. Nice by Sylas. Also worth mentioning, in this kind of fights that are happening, Akali does have the Ignite advantage. Sylas is running Teleport. Akali's got Ignite, which obviously will impact Sylas's healing. And, you know, worth noting, Akali heals a decent amount too. She's running Fleet Footwork this game as well. Which, you know, again, isn't bad. I'm surprised neither of them are running Conqueror, if I'm honest. But I guess the matchup in itself is more about burst rather than, like, constant DPS that Conqueror does provide. Well, the healing and everything. So, yeah. Worth also noting about team comps in general. If you look at bot lane, 2 unconventional supports. You know, 2 champions that aren't technically designed to be supports. Galio and Set, respectively. It's becoming more common, by the way. You know, I don't think Enchanter supports are bad. You know, I personally don't play them that much, but there's definitely a place for them in League. But because of the player base, well, especially in Korea, how aggressive it is, it doesn't surprise me that you're seeing things like Pantheon now in support, Set, Galio, because they just give more oomph, I guess. Like, they're a bit tankier than an average support. They, a lot of the time, have more damage than an average support, because in essence, they're not supposed to be a support. Anyway, Sylas misses his second E, which is obviously the chain. Akali popping her W. Sylas still looking fairly aggressive on this. Isn't wanting to back down, even though Akali, nice damage by Sylas. Akali's got blue buff, which obviously, again, if you're new to League, why does Akali have blue? Kindred's got mana, Akali's got energy. Why would you give blue to an Akali? Blue still does stuff for energy users. It gives energy regen. So there's a standard energy regen, and obviously some champions can increase their energy regen. But it does actually up. Your blue buff actually ups the rate that your energy naturally regens. And it also gives cooldown reduction. Both of things are good for Akali. And maybe Kindred. She's had an interesting early game. It's been a bit up and down. Maybe she's just valuing. You know, she's got Showmaker on her team, the rank 1 player. I think that's the rank 2 account he's currently on. Maybe it's like, yep, I'll give you blue. It helps you. I trust you. So teleport by Sylas again to bot lane. Gets the kill on Kindred. Arguable or questionable engaged by Kindred going in again 1v2 with then Sylas TPing. But we've said earlier today, you know, in this commentary, the aggression level is insane. People just don't back down, it looks like. And that's why snowballing and the Korean culture, I do think of like opening is quite evident, because people go all in and they will potentially end up dying a lot more on Korea than other servers, but because they are so aggressive. It's like, oh, I'm 0-6. It's not them inting, it's them constantly trying to be aggressive. You know, the Akali, rank 1 player, is currently 1-3. A lot of people are like, how's the rank 1 player 1-3? Because not every game is going to go great for you, and especially when you play aggressive, not always is that going to work. We'll also just kind of point out, we haven't even mentioned it really, top lane this game. Yep, it's the classic island of Paradise Del Farm. You know, they just farm. They're equal on farm. Cassiopeia versus Kennen. Nothing's going on. Hecarim might be actually now initiating a gank in top lane. Let's have a little look at that. And Cassiopeia is probably going to go down. Yep, she will. So there you go. That's the first thing that's happened in top. And there we go. So Sylas looking a bit aggressive. Akali on the back foot. Build by the Sylas, quite interesting, by the way, has gone GLP. And worth noting, oh, he's not done, you know, he's not running Glacial Augment. Why has he got GLP? Meanwhile, camera, please pay attention on the target I want to. Thank you. GLP is actually a naturally strong item. It's not bad. And arguably, GLP can, you know, if you're doing the GLP versus Luden's argument, Luden's does more damage. But if you're a champion like Sylas, that you need to kind of, you know, get auto attacks and everything involved as well, GLP gives a slow. So the slow of GLP actually may set up your other abilities to land, or you to get an auto attack off where maybe you wouldn't having a Luden's. So there's like a trade-off there, especially with a mobile champion like Akali, that she is quite mobile. GLP can slow the Akali down and kind of help the Sylas actually do DPS on her. So that's probably the reasoning for it, but obviously, naturally, most people would go Luden's and Sylas. But yeah, this game, not doing so. It's the aggression level, Akali going in, Galio lands on top, so this is a coordinated play by the enemy team. They're just backing out, nothing on it yet. Akali does go fully all in, Set grabs the Akali, Hecarim gets the kill, Kalista throwing in the Set, Akali ult does the Sylas, gets the kill on Kindred, Galio now on the back foot, Kennen also teleporting. I know he isn't. Is he teleporting? He might have. Or he's just running down. I didn't even notice. And the enemy team will lose that completely. But I know people like, Huz, stop repeating yourself. I can't get over. Like, people just keep going in. Right? Like, the Akali is arguably a bit weak this game. But she, you know, after the Galio landed, it's like, okay, the enemy team are out. Let's just back off. The play didn't work. No. Blue team kept going forward. Like, that's aggressive as hell. Like, I don't know. So build-wise for the Sylas, by the way, Merc Treads has been purchased. Not even, you know, hasn't gone Sork because he doesn't need it. Enemy team's got decent amount of CC. Cassio. Galio's kind of annoying for a Sylas in melee range. So yeah, has got that Merc Treads and obviously damage reduction versus Akali, Cassio, Ezreal, Galio. Misses the GLP, does the Sylas, but gets close to the minion to pop. Hecarim on his way. Get Hecarim naturally. Ooh, nice play. Ult Q by Flash ult by Cassio. Doesn't do anything because the Hecarim is a big boy. Obviously, he's got his core jungle item. Doesn't need to complete the warrior. has his Triforce already, and now is building probably towards that Death's Dance. But yeah, Sylas building towards a Zhonya's. Just survivability, as we mentioned. You know, Sylas is a weird champion that, yeah, he's like kind of a mage assassin, would you kind of call him? He's not like a full assassin, he's not a full mage, he's kind of hybrid in between. And he builds a lot of survivability. He can get away with not having just a pure AP build. That's why I said earlier, maybe Death's Dance on him would be kind of crazy. Gives him more healing, gives him cooldown reduction, gives him the anti-burst mechanic from Death's Dance, and I think it would give him... Would it be the 20%? I think it's still 20%, right? Anti-burst for melee champions, and it's 10% anti-burst for ranged champions. So technically, he would have 20% burst reduction as well. So that's kind of nuts. Right, big play happening. Kindred just get the kill on Kalista. Hecarim finding himself at Ezreal. There is a Akali, and that will be a dead horse. Sylas is on his way, though. Steals the Akali ult, is going to follow her. GLP to slow, as we mentioned, and Akali will just get absolutely annihilated. Sylas continuing onto the Galio. Ezreal could be in trouble in a second here. Sylas going to just focus the Galio. Now he's going to turn his attention. Triple kill Sylas, making himself 8-1-6. Lovely play by Sylas. You know, as you can see, heavily prioritizing stealing the Akali ult, because what that gives him, naturally, is mobility. You know, Sylas has okay mobility to begin with, but to chase an Akali around, well, the best thing to do that is stealing her ult, because then you're just following the Akali, and then naturally he has more mobility inbuilt his E to kind of chain her, follow her in that way. Yeah, really good to see. Good decision making. You know, it was nice to see him go on the Galio, because the Ezreal was like basically the wrong side of the lane. So it's like, I'll kill Galio first because he's nearer to safety, then I'll turn my attention to Ezreal because he's, you know, he's on my side of the map. He's stuck. So yeah, this is really good. And naturally, I hope you guys are like, yeah, this Sylas pick is incredibly strong. Enemy team is looking for this heavily. So he steals Kindred ult, which is smart, because that gives him survivability. You can see Hecarim on the map, was nearby, but he stole Kindred ult, because if he got in trouble, he could Kindred ult and then just wait for Hecarim. Enemy team is looking aggressive on this. He is fighting. Hecarim is on his way. There's the Kindred ult that he stole, and now the cavalry has arrived quite literally, and that's a dead Galio. Really nice decision making by Sylas, and this is what Sylas can do. And Ezreal's going to die by the Kalista, assist for Sylas. But yeah, this champion to me is incredibly strong. And I will also just make the point, is when the idea of him came out, I think a lot of people were like, oh snap, he's either going to be really good or really bad, because usually the ult of the champion is what makes them good or bad. Teleport by Sylas to go aggressive. But the thing is, yes, good ultimates for Sylas do make him stronger, no doubt. And situationally, like there, taking a Kindred ult to survive to wait for his team, amazing. But that only works if the right ultimates are available. The thing about Sylas, which is maybe a bit surprising, good damage by the way, is doing a double ult. Galio ult come to go through, gonna just kill the Cassio. Is grounded but does get away. Galio not doing much enough damage. Is, you can see there, like, yes, that was really nicely played, using the enemy ult against them, but he isn't useless without ults. You know, his trades are still good, his damage is still good, his sustain is still good. And that's what I think is also scary about this champ. And if they all go in, Kennen ultimate, which again might be bugged in the replay right now, and that is in essence, I think, the game. So, game's over, enemy team 5-0, you can even see people are quitting the game. Blue team members were quitting the game. The surrender vote came, they quit before it actually said yes. But that is Sylas, 10-1-9, reminding people in a Challenger Korea game. And that was pretty impressive. You know, it's not just being 10-1. He was against Showmaker, the rank 1 player right now, who went 2-7, who also was on 109 farm versus 165 for Sylas. So this, to me, I love doing these episodes because, again, everybody thinks of all the Korean gods, Challenger players. Well, clearly, they're not always going to have a good game. You know, 18 minutes, 109 farm. It's not great for, like, this level, but it's because not every game you can be okay. And I love doing these because if you're in iron, bronze, silver, gold, platinum, wherever you are, you can look at this and go, huh, the rank 1 Korea player got beat quite badly by this Sylas, and he had a pretty bad game, and he didn't farm well. If I do that in platinum, if I do that in gold, it's okay. It's really okay. So many League players put so much pressure on themselves. But yeah, Sylas to me, insane. He actually could be the answer to Akali, by the way, so that might be the title of this video. because I recently been struggling with Akali. That's kind of why I think I might have mentioned it. I like to do this episode because it was Sylas. I think he's an underrated, very strong pick right now. It's against an Akali who also so happens to be the rank 1 player on their rank 2 account. And yeah, I do think Sylas is a natural counter to Akali in some aspects because Sylas has sustain like Akali. Sylas has good mobility. He's got good CC, you know, in a 1v1 situation. And Akali's ultimate is arguably one of the most annoying things of how much it can kind of dash around and just murder you. Well, Sylas can steal it. So he has it too. So I think his whole kind of persona and kit, and Sylas naturally can build more survival and annoying against an Akali, and it doesn't hurt his damage output too badly, is another good thing against Akali. So if you do struggle with the matchup of Akali, maybe think of Sylas. But that was it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. That was episode 2 of our holiday to Korea here on Challenge Spectate. And yeah, we're going to continue it. Please do throw a like on the video. If we can maintain over 500 likes on these videos, massive appreciate. And also, again, keep recommending me players. I literally didn't, obviously I don't watch pros a lot. I got this guy from you guys suggesting him. So please keep going, suggesting players. And we will open it up. Like, people were already saying, can I do China? I don't think so. It doesn't look I can do China. Because they have their own kind of system, and it's very hard to get those. Like, I think it's impossible to get those replays. But I can do Korea. I can do pretty much any other region. But we're going to go with Korea for now. So keep recommending me. We might do a Faker episode soon, because I have heard through the grapevine that some people think Faker may have lost it a bit. Maybe we'll watch solo queue and see what we think. But anyway, that's going to be it. Like, comment, subscribe. See you guys next time. Hopefully you enjoyed. Peace.